This is Janet Pritchard from the Humber Institute of Technology and Advanced Learning and the University of Guelph-Humber. This is a video on developing a good research question. After watching this video, you should be able to construct your own research question using the PICO method. The first step is to start with a broad question. For example, is yoga good for you? To make this question more specific, think of doing a PICO cheer. So give me a P. Is yoga good for you? In order to make a more detailed question, you need to give more information about the population that you are interested in. I could make my question more specific by substituting older adults into my question. And I could make it even more specific still by substituting older women into my question. But some of you might be thinking, what does she mean by older? So it's best to specify the age of the participants or the participant group that you are interested in. So now we have the question, is yoga good for older women over the age of 65 years? All right, give me an I. So with our question, is yoga good for older women over the age of 65 years? Let's make our question even more detailed by specifying the type of yoga, because there are many kinds of yoga out there. I will use the example of Hatha yoga for this question, but I could have used hot yoga or Bikram yoga or other types of yoga. If you are asking a question about a nutritional supplement, it would be important to state how the supplement is being administered in this phase. For example, omega-3 fatty acid intake by capsule or pill. All right, give me a C. So using the question that we have so far, is Hatha yoga good for older women over the age of 65 years? In this step, you must specify the comparison group. In most questions, the comparison group will be the control group who is not receiving an intervention, or may just be receiving usual care. Sometimes the control group would be matched to the intervention group by age, sex, BMI, or other characteristics. It is important to state those things in the research question at this point. So for my question, is Hatha yoga good for older women over the age of 65? I'd like to compare this to older women who do not exercise. All right, give me an O. In this step, you must specify the outcome. Think about the patient-relevant consequences that may arise as a result of the intervention or exposure. A common misconception is that outcome means the result of the study. It is in fact what is actually being measured by researchers to determine if an intervention or exposure had an effect on health. This is one of the more difficult steps for students who are just starting to research a topic because sometimes you need some more background information on the topic. As you continue to read about your topic, you may decide to come back to this step and revise your question. For example, in the question that we have been working with so far, I selected the outcome of knee osteoarthritis progression, because that might be an outcome that's important to people participating in yoga. In other words, does their knee osteoarthritis get better as a result of participating in yoga? Alright, we need to provide more information still, because there are many ways to determine osteoarthritis progression. For example, X-ray or questionnaire could be used. In this example, I have chosen to use the outcome of WOMAC score. WOMAC is a questionnaire that is used to determine osteoarthritis severity, and scores have been related to radiographic evidence of osteoarthritis, which I have showed you in an image on the left-hand side. The higher the WOMAC score, the more severe the osteoarthritis is. So to summarize, when developing a research question, start with a broad question. You can then refine the 4 components of your question using the PICO method, with P standing for participants, I standing for intervention or exposure, C standing for comparison, and O standing for outcome.